Hello everyone, how's everyone doing today? We're gonna get straight into this because you know what today is? Today is Shin's Subterranean Adventure. That's right, Shin's Subterranean Animistic Adventure. Who's ready? I know I am. Let's get into it. This is the first DLC, the Sunken City. As you can see, it's quite literal. The city was once above ground, and is now no longer. It is no longer above ground. This DLC actually contains the main weapon we will be using in all of this. Our beautiful halberd. And where is our beautiful halberd, you may ask? It's right in there. This big ass temple, specifically through there. Let's go. Now this DLC does have, in my opinion, the hardest boss in the game, which is a 3-on-1. We'll get into shortly. And it has this cool gimmick where you hit this, it goes into the ground and raises a platform. Elevation is a very big key to this particular DLC. I hope everyone is ready. Yes, every enemy also has an Estus flask. What a thing, eh? Also, every enemy here gives the poison status effect. Just a little bit of it. Ouch. Ooh, hungry. I just ate lunch right before stream. Had some casserole. Delicious stuff. Oh, I thought I would flatten both of them. Apparently not. Only two-handed heavies do that. Yep, I did a little bit of off-screen giant lord grinding, and I see here, I increased my attunement by 5 levels, which means we get to use more spells. And we are using a charm in the offhand. Wrong charm, actually. Hold on. This is the charm we will be using. Eat the opponents. They do look like Halloween candy, don't they? But unfortunately, I can't. There it is. So, oh, the verticality, yes. So this is actually a part of the game where we have to equip a bow. Any bow will do. I'll go with this lightning short bow. Speaking of bows, I know what my new character is going to be. My new D&D character, I know what it's going to be now. Ah, speaking of, there's a +7 longbow, which is just better than what I have. No, I've decided to go with a fighter. I've decided to go with a Goliath samurai fighter that uses a 3 times oversized longbow for 48 damage per shot. And I'm going to use sharpshooter because I get advantage from samurai. Unfortunately, we are quite wide. I didn't end up going with monk because it's a little bit too unreliable. Spell arrows? Maybe. It's gonna be a little bit. Because, like, we're doing one of the modules where it, like, takes place in the Astral Sea. I don't really know what it's called. But we're doing that one. And apparently the DM said there's going to be a lot of ship combat, so like a ranged specialist is probably one of the most important members of the group. Oh, Arcane Archer is ass. Arcane Archer is ass. I read that shit. That is ass. You get 2 of them. They never get any better, and you can only use it twice per day and once per turn. I don't think it's Eberron. I read Arcane Archer. I honestly thought it would be way better than it is. But as I was reading this with the DM, I was like, hey, Arcane Archer sounds really good, right? And he was like, no. Arcane Archer is like one of the worst subclasses. And he's right. I was so surprised. It's like Skies of something is what it's called. I don't remember. I just want to know the setting, not the actual module itself. I don't want to... This is one of the modules I've never really paid attention to. Yeah. Difficult position. Yeah, I also thought I also thought Arcane Archer was like pretty good as well until I read it. 'Cause like it's a really cool concept. Sorry. Had to clear my throat. It's a really cool concept. Like, you know, you have special arrow types and you can use one of them. However, not only are they limited, like they are unreasonably limited, right? Because you only get 2 of them, you never get more. Like, I could understand that if, like, you know, they were really OP. Like, you, or like they gave you, or like they eventually started to get, like, really powerful upgrades. Like, imagine if, like, they got upgrades that were just like on par with another subclass. That would make a lot of sense if you could only pick 2 and you could only ever have 2. But no, a lot of them are like okay, and you can only use them twice per long rest, which is like unreasonably bad. Samurai, however, is a really good subclass just because of that first level ability. Strength Beyond Death is also pretty good, but it's only an 8th level campaign, so it's alright. I'm not gonna have that. But Samurai, Fighting Spirit, that shit bangs. Echo Knight is also very, very fun. Echo Knight has a lot of potential for damage, especially if you're using like any form of reach weapon, because that's really going to be the only thing like holding you back is like the positions of your echoes, and if your positioning sucks. But that's about it. You're pretty much set on everything else. But I really like Samurai because I'm going to combo it with a Sharpshooter and just do like, you know, 30 plus damage. Because, you know, 8d8 is a lot. That's me hitting twice. 8d8 plus 10 because my strength modifier is currently a +5. So 8d8 plus 10. That's a lot of damage. By the way, if the... God damn it, I'm stuck! If these bugs get close to you, when they do that, they break your gear. I was thinking about adding Rogue, yeah. Okay, we got lucky. I was thinking about adding rogue, but after reviewing everything... Oh, shit. After reviewing everything, I think I'm gonna go full into fighter so I can, at level 8, get piercer. I'll go 5 into fighter and then get piercer at level 8, which is max level in the campaign that's going into the final fight. This piercer is kinda busted with oversized weapons. I just want that extra feat, really. Because I have to take 2 feats to begin with to even fucking start using the build properly. Yeah, it's only a level 8 module. It goes from 5 to 8. Level 5 to level 8. We start at level 5. Repair.
I'll be around.
Okay. Nice and heavy. Why is that even worse? What? How many times have I died? I have died 246 times. Nice and strong. Yeah, it's pretty short. It's only gonna take like a couple minutes. It'll be alright. I'm just happy to be playing the campaign. The module also starts everyone off with a feat, I've noticed. Unfortunately, the DM won't let me start off with a 3 times oversized great bow to be fair to the other players. Which, yeah, fair enough. Crushed. Ooh, what the hell happened to his face? Ooh. What was it? Run and jump! Bitch. Hey, the rotten statues. I know. We do have someone with a poisoner's kit, though. As far as I know right now, we have a Kenku rogue assassin with the poisoner's kit. And a pyromancy sorcerer. I mean, that would hardly be useful first session, unfortunately. I think the DM said we're going to be starting off with a combat encounter. So we might all just die immediately. So that might happen. Whatever. I've never really cared if any of my characters die. Although that would be a nice combo. But whatever. That ain't gonna happen. We only got 3 players anyways. I don't know what we're gonna do. We don't have any healing or anything. And all of us are pretty fragile. The only one who isn't is like me. Yeah, you can only kill this thing by aiming at its toes. Yeah, money isn't a problem. Like, money is not the aim of this module. Money isn't the problem. Honestly, I don't know what the problem is. Me and the DM were talking about money because of the increase for oversized weapons, and he was like, money isn't going to be an issue. So I don't know what the problem is. I mean, maybe. That'd be kind of boring, though. Oh, Sanctum Mace. I'll check that out in a second. I think all the Mace and Sanctum weapons have poison naturally on them. Which one are you? You were that one. Okay. Now, I believe, yeah, that one leads to that. See, that's the thing. I don't even know if we have a ship. I don't know what module it is. I'm trying to think of what it could be, but I can't remember. It's like Sky something. Something like that. I don't remember. Now, if it was Ghost of Saltmarsh, that would be quite useful. But then again, because that is something you can do, it would probably, because it is like a fantasy world, it would probably just, like, you know, inflation would take over and the price for purple worm venom would probably just go down. Honestly, if a player tried to pull that, that's honestly what I would do. Economics don't have cheat codes. Crime is your cheat code. I'm trying to think of where to go. It's been a while. Oh, yeah, this is the fucking Peninsula of Death. There's like, I think 9 guys up here? Probably just summons it from a different area. Then the authorities would probably have to get involved or something. People are... in any fantasy world that, honestly, I could probably ever think of, people are always looking out for ways to make money like that. It's like with Pokemon. There's a move in Pokemon which actually does something much like that. you gotta think like, okay, well, how do the authorities stop that from happening? Because that is obviously, yeah, payday. That is obviously theft. How do the authorities stop something like that from happening? Well, probably marking all of their stuff with, you know, magic of some kind, or maybe a seal or venom, doing something like that. Because if that's something that people do, then that's something people are going to want to stop people from doing. That's just blatant theft, so of course, you know, wizards and such are going to stop that. Of course, I'm not the DM of this one, so it might work, but I don't care enough. There we go. Where the fuck is the other one? I know there's a second one around here. Oh. Ah, I see. So that's how you do that. Okay. There's a puzzle here. To get to a place that I've already been. Okay. It depends on how the DM rules it. Really? Depends on how the DM rules it. Because if you're doing that, honestly for me, I'd say that, you know, because that's probably a common thing that happens in a fantasy world. So I'd say, well, yeah, but they have, you know, things to get around this. It's probably a common issue. I don't like cheat codes like that. If you're gonna be in a world, you gotta do it right. This isn't a video game. But maybe this DM will be different, but I don't care about money. Ain't no thing. What? Oh, there was a guy that I missed. There's two of them. Where the fuck do these two come from? Why don't they stagger on my attacks? Yeah, it makes more sense if it's summoning, because it is a conjuration. Although, the book itself isn't as exactly accurate on what certain spells are as well. Like, healing spells being necromancy makes sense, but then there are some other ones that are a little bit iffy. Yeah, this is a puzzle I've already solved. Okay, hold on. Is there any way up or down? No, okay. Why can I not aim lower than that? What? My fucking pinky toe got caught on it? What the fuck was that? Depends on how you can enforce them, right? Now, as someone who knows an IRS agent, right? I know an IRS agent. He works for the family. Now, he says that the IRS never goes after anyone Oh, that's what you mean. Personally, I feel like just because of the nature of a fantasy world, a guild that enforces taxes is not a guild that would last very long. What is this? Whoa! Now that is good. Holy shit, a fucking Thunder Quartz ring. +3. Imagine it like this. Collective organization. I don't feel like the guilds be the one doing it. I feel like any good country would try and stop that and enforce the taxes on their citizens themselves. Because that was a thing that did kind of happen back in the day. I mean, not as far as guilds go, but companies, as they were called. Companies would do that to, like, the surrounding areas. And that is technically illegal, so I think a similar thing would happen. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it... Oh, wait, hold on. Actually... Whoa! The dragon. Hold on, wait, I'm actually pretty sure. Force souls. Oh, that's what you mean. I've never really concerned myself with doing that, unless it's the business end of things, because D&D does kind of have something for that. My players are rarely in a society, usually. There it is. Force souls. We've actually had enough as well. This is really cool. So I've never really had to worry about it. My players have rarely involved themselves with guilds. They really don't like to involve themselves with organizations or countries. I guess that's another difference with our players. My players never involve themselves with basically any organization. And if they do, it's like completely incidental. Like they like their characters are not found in it, but in it to begin with, basically. Okay, here's some enemies. See those ghosts? Those are their bodies. To make these guys material again, you have to break their corpses. And it will make them material. As you can see, now they are material. Otherwise, they take like 90% less damage from everything that isn't magic. Huh. Thought I could stagger. I could not. Yeah, I can't actually stagger like that. I can kind of one-shot them. Okay, let's do a comparison then, alright? Let's do a comparison, Draco. Because we got plenty of time to kill. Trust me, this is a very fucking long dungeon. Nice, Night Slab. Let's do a comparison. What is the first thing that your player... in the most recent campaign that you DM'd, what is the first thing, the most recent fantasy campaign, what is the first thing your players did? After, you know, going through the adventuring hook and everything. What is, like, the first thing they all decided to do? Hmm. That's pretty standard. My players have a habit of doing that as well. They just kind of get a feel for where they are in the world and what the world is like, right? However, sometimes the most recent one, what they did was, so they started near, not in, but near a town. Is this a mimic? No, it's just a trap. They started near a town with a giant wizard's tower in it. Alright, we started with a town with a giant wizard's tower in it. And they wanted to, you know, they wanted to get some magical items. It was the first thing they always do. My players always want to get their hands on magical items as quickly as possible. It's one of the first things they always do. Because they want to get over immunities and resistances. They don't care if it's just like a +1 magical sword. They just want something, right? So they usually always go to the wizard shop. And this one of our warlocks decided to go to the wizard shop immediately. And he was like, hey, you got any magical items? And he's like, yeah, I got some. So he had, the wizard himself did have a magical short sword. It was a short sword that did 1d4 fire damage. Which is actually straight from the book, and something that someone gave me in a different campaign a long, long time ago. It's like, yeah, I got this plus this fucking 1d4 short sword. So it did a d6 and then a d4 fire damage. And this player was like, well, I don't really got the money for that. The moon-touched blade. Most of the time I just randomize what magical items people are selling. Unless there's like certain events in the world going on, then it will be specific ones. Which actually did end up happening later in the campaign. But basically, what happened was this wizard, because this was like a somewhat wealthy town, it wasn't like a massive city or anything, it was an alright wealthy town. This wizard had a shield guardian embedded in his wall, right? In case there was a robbery and that he couldn't deal with. He had a shield guardian embedded in his wall. And this warlock was like, hey, that shield guardian's real nice, right? I want it. How much is it? And the wizard was like, well, it's not for sale, but if I was gonna sell it, you know, it would be 1,000 gold pieces. It's a lot. And this warlock was like, you know, listen, if you... This was definitely an odd poll, by the way. I'm still not sure where this came from. This warlock was like, hey, listen, if you, you know, you don't give that to me right now for 20 gold, I'll get the court mage that lives in town on you. Court mage. No one's seen him in fucking, you know, weeks. He's locked up in his cellar. No one's seen him in weeks. So it's just like, obviously the wizard doesn't believe him. He doesn't even like try to make a perception roll, he just says it as well. There's no perception roll. Or deception roll. This is a trap, by the way. As you can see. Quite the violent one at that. Soul of the hero. So, this guy goes to where the court mage lives. They have this big fucking kerfuffle. Where they're like arguing back and forth about this. Eventually, the warlock basically breaks into the court mage's house. Because the wizard and the court mage, they have like a bet. Sorry, the wizard and the warlock, they basically have a bet, right? They have a bet like, hey, if I can go talk to the court mage, you have to give me that that guardian. And obviously, the fucking wizard's like, yeah, okay, sure. He doesn't believe him. And that ends up happening. He breaks into the court mage's house. Court mage, not happy. He ends up killing the warlock with a chain lightning. Wow, I'm not poisoned. Right, so this is going to be what we call a dead man's run here. This room is full of bodies. We have to break. Here. I think the last one is to the left. There's one more in there. I'm gonna come back for it. So what do you think, Draco? Oh yeah, the warlock also kills a pregnant woman during that. Oh, it doesn't kill, but severely injures a pregnant woman during that time to make sure he means business. What do you think, Draco? How do our players differ? Yeah, that's what mine was doing too. They got better things to do than work with the public, you know? They're mages. They have a lifetime ahead of them. Oh, Jesus Christ, 5. How much is one of these? 1,000. Okay.
What?
These jade rings, man. A lawn grape. Grape bows are kind of the only, like, bows are not really. No, they kind of. If you have one of these are go through a planning phase, scientific process, and all that. These binoculars weigh less than 2 pounds. Yeah. He thought that because he said the bet was that he said like, yeah, all I gotta do is talk to the court mage. So I'll break into the court mage's house and say one word to him. So long as he says something back, I'll go back and tell the wizard. Obviously, the court mage does not like this man assaulting people on the street, injuring pregnant women, and basically accosting his daughter and breaking into his house. So he just fucking kills him. You know what's crazy, though? The guy who played that warlock ended up leaving the campaign immediately after, right? He left the campaign immediately after. Can you guess what he was upset about? It wasn't the fact that his character died. It was something else. This is like the most insane thing I've ever heard anyone say. Right next to a certain encounter with a very racist man. Specifically about D&D. He said... So I was like, yeah, okay. Your character's dead. He was like, oh, what spell did he end up using on me? Did he just end up using Witch Bolt on me because I had 11 hit points? And I was like, oh no, he used Chain Lightning on you. Not Chain Lightning, Lightning Bolt on you. And this man got like... He had an idea early on about this, and I heard he complained to me about it early on. But this man, because someone ended up using ithas on him, but this man got so angry. He just couldn't understand why NPCs would ever be higher level than the players. Like he said, like, we're supposed to be the heroes. We're supposed to be like the main characters of the story. Why are their characters more powerful than us and they're just in the world? Like, it's so weird, right? That is such a strange way of thinking. It is like... It's like manifested main character syndrome. You know? That's so strange. Like, yeah, but, I mean, when I say court mage, he wasn't a court mage anymore. He retired from the court mage job and had more of a necromancer kind of job. More of an experimenter kind of job. He just ran experiments. He was very wealthy, so he didn't really need to worry about money or being a court mage anymore. This guy was like, why would you make NPCs that aren't, like, adversaries to us or, like, villains, like, higher level than we are? What is the point of us? Why doesn't the court mage just go on the adventure? Yeah, it was so strange. I've had a lot of players in my time. I've never had anyone else think like that. Not once. Also, like, yeah, it's like he has better things to do. He's not involved in any of this. It's like such a weird idea. Also, these guys have repeater crossbows as well, as you can see. That was the weird one. I was looking for players to potentially do a... This one was crazy. I had players to potentially... I was trying to find players to potentially do a Nihou campaign based in the world of the Nihou game series, right? And I was going around from server to server, see if I can pick up any other VTubers who were interested. Eventually, one guy was interested. Now, if you don't know anything about Nihou, Nihou is basically, it's like hunting Japanese yokai, right? That's the premise of the game. That's what you do. It's all about that. This man seemed to not... I don't know if he... I'm not sure here, but... What he said was kind of crazy. I basically explained the plot to him, and he was like, oh yeah, I love the original Nihou game. I don't really like the sequel too much. Yeah, he said, oh, I don't like the sequel too much. I really like the sequel, right? I really like the sequel, but he was talking about this, and he was like, oh, yeah, I didn't like the sequel too much, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is more like the original, as far as things go. And he had this, he made this request of me, right? He was like, oh yeah, by the way, he said he texted me this in like the most casual way possible. Like when I say this, it was like he dropped this in like a casual conversation. He texted me. Keep in mind, he's signing up to play a campaign of Myuu. He texted me, hey, like, can the game take place in America? I'm like, what? He was like, yeah, can the game take place in America? I hate the Japanese. I do not want the campaign to take place in Japan. I don't know, man. That one really that encounter is why the My Hero campaign exists, because I just those are my other players. The people in the My Hero campaign, those are the players I usually do stuff with. And like I was like, yeah, it's kind of integral to the plot, and he was like, then I don't really want to play it then, you know. And he just dipped out. Yeah, those are the semi-normal ones. Sometimes they've got interesting ideas. The attacks actually curve around my shield at certain angles. Like, one of them is starting a campaign here in a couple, probably a year or so. For the rest of us to play, since I'm going to be taking a break from DMing. It's got some strange rules. Some of them I don't understand. I don't complain, but there's some strange rules in there. Probably the weirdest is like, you know, you can't concentrate on spells, you lose 10 AC, and you have disadvantage on physical checks and saving throws if you talk during combat. That's an interesting one. But I'm not going to complain. Oh, nice. Sanctum repeating crossbow. It can definitely be strange. A gnome. Go on. I hate the game had consequences. That's an interesting one. Dark damage is nothing to game in this DLC. Dumb pie. Old glowing bomb. Yeah, I never do it in person. And that's exactly why. People are just too volatile and too horrible. That is mighty what the fuck? Where did you come from? That is mighty unfortunate. We started the campaign. I don't blame you there, Draco. I never do anything in person. I never do in person. Oh shit, Flan's ring. I don't think this is any help to us at all, but... yeah, lowers equipment load, increases physical attack. Oh my god, our equipment load is so high that it only increases... it doesn't even increase our attack enough to matter. Damn. My first time DMing too. Yeah. Especially for a first time DM, that's gotta suck. Oh, I know the feeling though. What the fuck? People can cause such issues for no reason. Damn, why did he die? He didn't die before. Huh, how does this trap even work? Right now it seems like it doesn't. Yeah, I've had that happen. I've only had that happen once, but I've had that happen. Scheduling conflictions can cause a lot of problems. I've only had that happen once, but it does suck when it does happen. And this, I believe, is the puzzle sword. Yes, puzzling stone sword. It's a whip. Huh, trap didn't go off again. Wonder what's broken with it. Well, that's nice, arcane focuses. It's good for like a blade singer. Fuck, anything's good for a blade singer, that kind of suck. They kind of suck. Oh. Hmm. How beautiful. beautiful it is. Huh? The jester. Pyromancer. I bet you this guy's based on a person that's real. I bet you. Like someone who worked in the office or some shit. Oh. Wow, yeah, you were actually pretty weak. You can't do much damage to me at all. Oh. I'll be taking this then. Good thing I can just kind of force him off of it with a flame of damage. Did he just use combustion on me? Fuck you, I'm going back to your healing source you made me. Great Chaos Firebolt. Magic, bitch! Magic, bitch! And he misses the last one. Huh? Huh? You cave in. Technically by D&D standards, no, but it's at least good anyways. In the earth element. Here are these things. These things are very interesting enemies. They are quite strong and quite powerful, but quite abusable. They have a massive vulnerability to specific damage types. And they also drop one of the best items in the entire game, that being Petrified Dragon Bone. But that doesn't matter. Oh shit, there's the bonfire as well. I forgot they have those sort of rooms. It was just a bunch of commoners then. Oh yeah, I believe they do give like 10 EXP. You'd have to kill a lot of them to get anything good though. Okay, so we go around there, go up and around there. Okay. I believe those weird mouth-on-leg things have like a vulnerability to lightning damage. There's a specific damage type that I can't remember that they're like extraordinarily vulnerable to. Strange how some of them die and some of them don't. I've been in that same situation before. Although it wasn't an axe, it was a fireball spell. And oh, that is the key for this. I was wondering. Right, this is the treasure room. Bitch, I heard the spell go off. I just wasn't fast enough. Bonfire acidic, very nice. More souls. Lightning clutch ring. Lightning clutch ring. Oh my god, look at all the fucking +2 giant rings we have. Lightning clutch ring. Oh! This one! That's actually a good one. My players, well, they didn't use a weapon. They found a similar weapon like that. They found a similar weapon like that. They found, hold on. Let me get to the top of this tower. I want to make sure this is the right place. There's a very powerful spell somewhere around here, but I don't remember where. Shit, they actually do damage. Razor sharp claws. Okay. Alright. So. Ah, here it is. Of course, there's a phantom in the way. Out of my way. Out of my way. Well, you have some good defense as well. Too bad I'll just fucking flatten you like a goddamn fucking club. Rock shield? My god damn it! Oh, now aren't you something? That's too strong. At least you've got hope. Great ravine. My players, they found an item that is similar, but... So there's this whole, like, freeing a bunch of enslaved creatures. Basically. Alright. Since we're talking about D&D and telling each other stories, I'll go over this full story. Are you ready, Draco? This one is kind of long. Alright? First, let me take a drink of water. So... One of my players, his character had just died, right? And they met, early on, they met this NPC by the name of Yoi. They actually rolled a companion in one of their backstories. At the beginning of the campaign, they knew this NPC named Yoi. She was basically the tank of the party, essentially. All that stuff. The party liked Yoi so much that one of them decided to play as Yoi's younger brother. They made a character who was Yoi's younger brother. And they ended up playing him for a while. His name was King. That was just kind of the thing. He rolled some very interesting stuff. You remember the backstory chart that I had you do? He rolled on that. He got some very big debuffs and buffs. He rolled a bunch of passive abilities, which gave him... He rolled this 3 times, by the way. On a D100, he rolled it 3 times. He rolled the same passive ability 3 times, where his movement speed was halved, but he had a bunch of, like, defense and AC increases, because his skin was made out of gold. And he was huge, right? He was a 12-foot tall dude. like in his true like big grown form, because he was basically part of a clan that could increase their size. Yoi herself in her smallest form was 8 feet tall. In her larger one, she was like 14 feet tall. That was their whole like gimmick. They could grow big and strong and get super powerful. So he ended up having like a shitload of defense. His movement speed was 5. He had 5 feet of movement speed. So I don't gotta tell you how fucking bad that is. Like, his movement speed was 5 feet. It is slow, but he had an AC of 39, and he had a good damage reduction as well. His damage reduction was like, he would take a minus, I think, 150 to all damage. But he was super tanky. They had to move, he basically moved around by walking everywhere. And he was in his, like, palace, because he was royalty, because Yoi herself was also royalty. He was royalty, and a bunch of his servants were being knocked unconscious in the kitchen, and everyone was like, what the fuck is knocking all of these, like, 12-foot tall giants out? And no one can see it. Everyone's super confused at what the fuck is happening. No one knows what is knocking everyone unconscious. People are obviously pretty scared, right? Eventually, King goes in there because, like, he has 150 fucking damage reduction. And a AC of like 30 plus. He's not scared, right? He goes in there and he notices something is just constantly making attack rolls on him, but he can't fucking see it. So he uses detect magic, nothing. He uses see invisibility, nothing. Eventually he just decides to make a fucking perception. He sees something. There is a person, a tiny person, an inch tall, with a needle, repeatedly stabbing him, and they are so fast that he cannot perceive their movements properly. So obviously he's like, what the fuck? He's like, what the hell is this? So he finds out this person, this little tiny person, has been living inside of a loaf of bread in his pantry for weeks, right? They've been living in that loaf of bread in the pantry for weeks. Just slowly eating it from the inside while living in there. And he's like, what the fuck? So he catches this tiny little person and is like, hey, why are you knocking everyone out? Well, it turns out that a lot of the kitchen staff became very aggressive with this tiny person they found. And they're like, yeah, well, you can't live in the pantry. Keep in mind, these people, these giants, eat loaves of bread so large that they're basically, if you're an inch tall, they're the size of a small house for you. The player actually takes an interest in this NPC. This NPC is something known as... Oh god, here it is. Okay. This NPC is something known as an inchling. No, not like that, not like that. Not like that, although he could. King could very easily eat this creature, because he's 12 feet tall, and this creature is, fucking an inch tall. This is one of the worst areas in the game. So this area is the lead up to a very difficult boss fight. We'll get into that later. But basically, this guy is only an inch tall. And he finds out this is a inchling by the name of Myuu. who kind of he ran away from slavery. Myuu is part of a royal family of the inchling species that is currently enslaved by what are basically like big undead creatures. And the king is like, you know what? I need to make a name for myself. I'm gonna free the inchlings. Which I gotta say, that's probably the best way to start a side quest ever, right? That was the most positive that player has ever been for a side quest. Ever. Like, Davies is like, alright, we're gonna free the inchlings. Keep in mind, he wasn't even with the rest of the group. He was going to free the inchlings. So, he started off. So he found out the inchlings are enslaved inside of their home dimension, which he just ended up calling the inchling dimension, which is like a pseudo... It's basically a tiny pseudo-plane that is just like a small mountain range, right? That's all the inchling dimension actually is. So he uses his royal, like, you know, contacts to get into contact with someone who can send him to the inchling dimension. And he starts collecting inchlings. He literally starts collecting like a small society, and he builds them a fortress on his back because he's so big. He builds them a fortress on his back to carry them around. Because these creatures can also fight. They can fight really well. They have a lot of magic in them. So, you know... Oh, this is actually a really good shield as well. This shield is a catalyst for sorceries. It's only a little bit better. It'd be worth my time. So, you know, he starts collecting them. He finds one that's like a witch, and she can do, like, magic and such. Her name is Matsu. He finds another one who's like a mercenary who uses, like, a butcher's knife as a sword, as, like, a great sword. And they find where the inchlings... So the inchlings had a village that they built. Like, a village of normal houses. The reason they do this is they try and copy, like, human society, because to them, having, like, a broom, because they're only an inch tall, having, like, a broom, or, like, something really big, like we have, is considered being, like, rich, or very powerful, or, like, having that thing, and every inchling has to have that thing that they have, that item, which is, you know, 10 times their size. So, he gets into this, right? And they find out the inchling village has been taken over by these undead who have enslaved them to make sure their race dies out, because they... King never finds this out, but the inchlings at one point were actually very powerful in and of themselves, and they ended up enslaving the inchlings at one point ended up enslaving an entire race of dragons, which the players found out was because of the main villain, funnily enough. But King never found out that the inchlings do have, like, a semi-darkness. That was never a thing he discovered. So eventually, they form this plan with some of the surrounding, like, mountain gods to, like, attack this village, but beforehand they find out of these 3 magical weapons. See, this is not the first time the inchlings have been enslaved. They've been enslaved once before. So they hear the legend of these 3 magical weapons. A hammer, a sword, and a sickle. Each representing one member of the inchling race. The inchlings are separated into 3 sub-races. The inchlings themselves, the fairies, and the kodama. And basically, what ends up happening is the reason the Inchlings were so powerful before, but now they're weak and you know, a slave species, is because these undead... A sickle. No, not communism. It's going in the other direction. Technically, it's a mallet, but whatever. A hammer mallet, same damn thing. Unless you're talking about construction equipment. But this happens, right? He's. They learn about this legend, and they learn that the reason the Inchlings are so weak now is because the undead, they sealed away the Inchling's power inside of a magical orb that the leader of the undead has. And the Inchlings, they learn about this, and they're like, well, we gotta free that orb so we can get our magic back. So we can start using our actual true powers. So, King is like, well, let's go find one of those weapons and teach those undead what for. So he does that. They end up going through this big quest, and they find out that a person from their universe, from their dimension, ended up coming to this one and finding one of the weapons. He was like a magical weapon collector. He ended up giving it to them for free, as he learned that the race that this used to belong to is now enslaved, you know. Yes, that is one of them. So he ends up just giving this to them. And it is the mallet. It's the hammer. This hammer is called the Miracle Mallet. And it's basically... it is the Kodama's weapon, right? It's the one that represents the Kodama. The Kodama are represented by the mallet. Sorry, it's the fairy's weapon. The fairies are represented by... No, it is the Kodama. It's the Kodama's weapon is represented by the mallet. The Inchling's weapon is the sword, and the fairy's weapon is the sickle. And in Inchling society, before they were enslaved, every basically sub-race of Inchling had like their own thing they would do, right? Their own unique thing that their race was very good at. For the Kodama, it was building. For the Inchlings, it was fighting. For the fairies, it was farming. So they all had their like own little place in society that they like to do. And eventually, they find the hammer. This hammer, like I said, it's called the Miracle Mallet. And it has the ability to build and change the earth. It's really powerful. It's just basically a super knockback machine. It's considered a great hammer for an Inchling. And the party finds out that these weapons are actually their size. These weapons are not like weapons meant for a person to wield. These weapons are 1/4 of an inch tall. They also find out that only Inchling species can wield these weapons, right? And unfortunately, none of them picked Inchling as their species, so... Oh well. They were kinda pissed that no one picked Inchling. Right? They were kinda angry. One of them even thought about using a subclass power to pick up, because as they level up, they like get different subclass abilities from different subclasses. One of them thought about picking up a rogue subclass power, which removed the racial restrictions on weapons, so they could just use any weapon. Even though the hammer is a 2 times undersized light hammer, which does 1 damage, they still wanted that power. But they didn't end up doing that because the player who plays King was like, no, it's more fitting if Myuu, the one like leading all this, is the one to wield the miracle weapon. So they're like, well, yeah, you know what? Yeah, sure. So what this weapon does is it has a few qualities, but the first one is if wielded by an inchling, it is considered a 5 times oversized great hammer. So it does, specifically a maul. So it does, sorry. So it does 6d6 damage, right? If wielded by an inchling. Where the fuck is the hole? There's another hole around here somewhere. I'm kind of lost in here. Is it over there? No. So they attack the village of the undead. They have like a whole bunch of allies that they've made along the way. Fucking anime power of friendship style. They attack this place. And Myuu ends up, you know, trying to solo. Kilbert elves. Really, I don't know what those do. What do they do? I'll pause the story. I want to know about this. What do they do? Alright. I guess I just have to go out the side exit here. Never knew that was their real name. I've heard about that, but I never knew that's what they were called. Honestly, I don't eat too many sweets myself. If I'm eating anything, it's probably meat. I am a fox. I guess this is the only way to go then. There's the arena for the boss. That's it. That boss is very difficult. Veggies mixed with meat is good. It adds a good bit of flavor to it, but for me, nothing beats a good slab of meat. Oh. Makes me want steak. Makes me want to just rip into the life force of another creature. But whatever. Anyways, so King ends up, they end up attacking, and the undead, he's actually the undead's leader. He's drawing power. I have steak for dinner tomorrow. That's amazing. I don't know if I'll have dinner tomorrow. I'm probably gonna get drugged to a Chinese, fucking Japanese feud. No, never mind. They said they weren't gonna do that. My birthday is at the end of the month, Draco, so my family was thinking about taking me to a Japanese fusion place. It might have to cancel stream Wednesday because they might take me on Wednesday, but we're gonna have a really bad storm tomorrow, so they couldn't do it tomorrow. I will be 170 years old on the 30th. But yeah, Myuu the inchling ends up like 1v1ing the by the time they get there, he ends up like 1v1ing the leader of the Kage 26. He was born on the 31st of October. But they end up like 1v1ing the inchling's leader, Myuu does, with the Miracle Mallet. And the Miracle Mallet, it has the ability to... It's a very oversized great hammer. It has the ability called Split Ground, where it creates a big-ass chasm anytime it hits a creature that is standing on the ground. So basically, it's just a chasm-creating machine. And it has 200 feet of knockback added to it on any of the attacks. So it's just this really, really heavy-hitting hammer. It also has the ability to make anything grow larger or smaller. Temporarily, of course. But it can cause anything to grow big or small. And what ends up happening is Myuu ends up 1v1ing the leader here. Ah! That's unpleasant. Some orc is going to get jumped. And the undead... Okay, hold on. Let me concentrate for this. The undead ends up drawing power from the Inchling's own, like, the crystal ball he has all their magic trapped inside of. The Grave Robber. Ancient Soldier. The sound magic. Holy shit, he's still standing! Where's that fucking archer? He's first. This is the boss fight I was talking about. I really find this one quite hard. It's a... Hoo-yah! Nope, not enough. Oh. It's a 3-on-1. I think there's a bird being murdered outside my window. Oh, there we go. Now I flatten him. He has my moveset. No, he has my moveset. That means he's vulnerable to petrification. Ah, a bot. So, yeah, the undead's using the Inchling's own power against them. And that is when Myuu realizes, wait a minute. The Inchlings. If this orb is our power, what happens if we... So, instead of swinging the hammer, the Miracle Mallet, at the leader of the undead, Myuu swings the Miracle Mallet at the orb. Oh, no, it's fine. He swings the Miracle Mallet at the orb and shatters the orb to reveal the source of the Inchling's power, the thing that was sustaining their society and helping them break free all this time. It was their sword. Inside of the mallet was the blade that the Inchlings formed long ago to free themselves. So it's this big epic reveal. And then, you know, the players go fucking wild, they go crazy. They go crazy. Myuu ends up dual wielding the blades. He ends up dual wielding one in one hand, one... Oh shit, I just petrified. I didn't think I would. That's what it looks like when you get petrified. He ends up dual wielding the long sword in one hand and the light hammer in the other. So the hammer is called the Miracle Mallet. The blade is called the Shining Needle, or Sky Splitter. Because that's what it does. Its attack range. I just gave the thing like a comical attack range. It counts as a long sword. There's the spell. This is a very powerful sword. It just counts as a longsword, but its attack range is dark range, 23,000 feet. It's multiple miles. It's 23,000 feet. That's why it's called Sky Splitter. It's a longsword with a lot of damage and a big-ass attack range. And it hits everything in either a vertical line or a horizontal line. Because it's supposed to be like a legendary weapon, right? So, I just gave it, like, the most busted stats ever. It does, it specifically, when wielded with one hand, it does 8d8 damage, and it has that attack range. So this thing fucking hurts. And it pierces all immunities and resistances, as well as all, like, damage resistances. So, Myuu fucking obliterates the leader of the undead. And it turns out the one who formed the blades, the person who made the blades to protect the Inchlings, it turns out that her spirit still remains inside of the blades she made. Her spirit still lives in there. To this day. So she ends up possessing Myuu, and she's like, "Oh, I thank you for this, King. You have helped Myuu and my species conquer this horrible, horrible undead civilization that was enslaving us. Thank you for helping us." And King's like, weren't no thing. And then they reunite the Inchlings. The Inchlings are freed. The fairies come back from the wild that they were trapped in. And it's a happy ending. Let me remind you, that was one player doing it. The rest of the party had nothing to do with that. That was one player doing that. The other party members had no idea that was even happening. They had no idea any of that was even happening. Like, their characters did. Obviously, the other players did. Basically. Well, no, he actually, he did end up retiring his character afterwards. He ended up retiring King afterwards, because he didn't want to ruin the happy ending. Holy shit, they can backstab me! Bleed, of course, and the fucking great arrow from the front. How the fuck? Fucking archers. Gonna cause me a headache. As soon as I get through the ancient soldier, I should be able to kill the other two relatively easily. He's just the only threat because he has my fucking build. Oh my god, the fucking archer knocking me down occasionally makes this difficult though. Ow. Oh yes, this fucking game has sticky aim. Fucking right. Yeah, he'll eventually pull out his bow. Oh my god. Okay, okay. We're getting into this now. We're getting into this. Give me a second, Draco. Funnily enough, eventually, King ended up coming back as an NPC in the final fight against the main villain, because they ended up finding out that the main villain was the kind of person that manipulated the Inchlings originally into doing what they did against the dragons, even though the Inchlings and the dragons used to be very good friends with each other. So that character ended up coming back as an NPC. This guy is the most annoying out of all of them. The artifact grave robber, the ancient soldier. You have bad news? Do you have to do something crazy? You all right? Is the commander deck not working out? Yeah, you gotta trim the fat, unfortunately. You gotta at least have like 20 normal lands in there. So they lived happily ever after. $98. Ugh. No normal lands is difficult to play. I mean, you can still play with like only artifacts if you have like specific artifacts to get you started, I suppose. But no normal lands, that's a bit difficult. That is a bit of an ask. No normal lands. Huh? Oh my. Yeah, not enough. I'm pretty sure there's nothing else in there though. I just ran to the wrong corner. I'm trying to think if there's anything else past that arena. I don't think there is, but I'm still gonna go back in there. trying to think. Oh, it counts as a medium. Oh, this place is so confusing. Yeah, it's not past the stinky one. What? One of the statues got a headshot on me, so it staggered me. Yeah, the game will just randomly do that to you sometimes. I think this is it. No. God, this place is so fucking confusing. Purposely so. It's crazy that one of the hardest boss fights in the game has a pre-area like this. He's not dead. There it is. That's the right way? Yes, it is. No, it's not. This area is so confusing. So confusing. This area is all turned upside down. I think this is the place that it's inspired the whole like thingy. Mana rocks? Yeah, mana rocks are good. So are mana tombs. Tombs and monoliths. You can basically get by on those, but not normal lands just add consistency to the deck, while taking away like the potential for good hands. You can get fucked by land cards like that. It doesn't happen too often, but you absolutely can. Ah. God, this place is nice. There it is. Majula shall never be great. It was never great to begin with. It's not Firelink Shrine. Ow. Poison. What a joke. How you doing, TP? I'm just going through this area, making sure I didn't miss any items in particular. I know this area has some really good items to it. But I'm pretty sure I got pretty much everything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's nothing down here. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're just going through the sunken city. Actually, I haven't been to Majula for a while. Probably should go back there. Not right now. Don't even think I have any shards to begin with. Alright, let's go. Alright, we have a new hex. Yes, Dark Greatsword. I suppose... Oh. Sorry about that. I suppose I just have never had interest in magic, really. So I don't know the value of that. I don't know how good that is. We just got warmth as well. Forced Souls is interesting. It is very powerful against certain bosses, but we will not be using it anytime soon. Those bosses that are it's very powerful against are basically the final boss, and that's about it. $40 health. There we go. What a beautiful place. Be a lovely place for a wedding. Alright. Let me think. We gotta get down to the basement. Those clouds are just kind of stuck there. These still do damage to my stuff? Yes, they do. What the fuck? Maybe those humans can do 1 base damage. I got stuck in an animation there. Yes, what is it? Can they consistently do it is the better question. Oh. That's a bolt. Alright, let us continue now. Pretty sure we got everything we need. Yeah, we're good. Could never imagine spending that much money on a card. Holy shit. I'm too money loving for that. I'm not gonna lie. There we go. Once we get out of here, I'm just gonna be careful and kind of wrap around the place. There is a path you can take to avoid all of them. So I'll just do that. It's through the center-ish. Specifically, you hug this rock and kind of keep behind this guy. Now, these guys actually drop a good few very powerful items. Yeah, I've seen it. I read it. I just don't know the value of that. Well, if magic is anything like Yu-Gi-Oh, then you'll never get into the late game. It'll be 2 turns. Personally, I fucking hate all card games. Oh, I rolled with that and he still died. It sounds like a fun combo, though. Just a spam deck. I remember playing Magic back in the day. One of my friends had a similar deck. It was a goblin deck. It was a red goblin deck. Oh! I didn't roll through that. These guys just don't have enough... What the fuck? They just don't have enough damage to actually beat me. I think they have the dragon there. Yes, they do. Oh, that's weird. I guess my poise is at that perfect point where they can't get through me if I'm attacking, but they can't if I'm standing still. That does happen. Pretty still unless you're... Sure. What does that have to do with anything? I wonder what the meta is right now. By what I've heard, it's the Eldrazi. I've heard the Eldrazi are pretty good. Magic is so broad, though, that finding one particular meta is hard. No, okay, I don't think they... There we go, Petrified Dragonbone. We need this stuff, by the way. Our weapon requires it. Unfortunately. I wonder if that's darker lightning damage. I know they're quite vulnerable to lightning damage themselves. Ooh. Oh. That can't really hurt me. Okay, blue-red combo. It's so strange to me. I've never really liked different formats in games as well. I just wish it was like one well-made format. Personally, everyone plays Commander in Magic by what I hear nowadays. I don't even know how many formats in Magic there are. Oops. Oh. Well, good thing he didn't fall off there. I thought he wouldn't because he started on the wrong side, but... There we go. I was trying... Oh well, it doesn't matter. So... I fucking hate card games, though. I fucking hate them so goddamn much. Now maybe it's not card games that I hate. Maybe it's just I hate competitions that I can't rig. People are disgusting like that. Yeah, I don't understand what a structure deck is. I've never even seen one though. I don't know what a structure deck is. Yeah. So that's what they're used for. That makes sense. That sounds pretty good for a card game's lifespan to have that. Probably a pretty important factor. I believe there's an invasion up here. Yeah, there's just the Drake Blood Greatsword. Reek Blood Greatsword. I believe it's one of the faster greatswords in the game. I actually used to use this one quite a bit. It's very quick and nippy. Very good damage. Beyond that, it's also been around for a while, right? Magic has a very rich history behind it. A very big and bombastic history. A lot of crossovers as well, and a lot of interesting stuff. I know, but it has a lot of them. Godzilla is the first one I saw. Lord of the Rings. Saw that. It's a lot of cards as well. There's a lot of magic cards. Alright, let me think for a second. Where do you get the Drakestone Eye? I've seen Doctor Who as well. Where do you get the Drakestone? Let me look it up. Let me look it up. Let me look. Where is... There it is. The Dragonstone. Ah, okay. I remember there's a shop near me like that. Oh, okay. I know where to go now. We have to go all the way back over here. There is actually a bonfire somewhere in here, but I don't remember. I think combos are one of my biggest gripes with card games. Oh my god, it's so much fucking money. $36. I think that's maybe another reason. A lot of magic cards are super expensive. Some of them are unreasonably expensive. You know? Like TF2 hats. To me, that's why I only play Magic online. That's why I pretty much do everything online. There it is. Ow, ow. That is true. Most decks can't function without them. But just being in person. No trades. What do you mean no trades? What is a trade? Do I just not know terminology or something? Maybe I'm just out of loop on terminology. Yeah, need some. What? Why would you do that? I don't understand. There we go. Denial. That's a very good spell. I thought it was like Elden Ring. I don't like the idea of that. I mean, you know, like, you spend so much money on these cards. Trading them scares me. It's just like, you know, it's money. Yeah, but oh shit, the dragon ring broke. God damn it. There's a fucking... No, wait, hold on. I'm remembering now. There's a false wall around here. But stocks are a great investment. Especially if you know what you're doing. Stocks are a great potential. A piece of something that you could have. You could own. Cards... Something of value, something like that. Something destructible, something tangible, something that isn't guaranteed. Like something in the digital space is. The only way a stock can be ruined is if it's not worth it. Right? Yeah, I know you enjoy the game, and it's great that you do. I just don't like the social aspect to it. Now, if there was a game, there was a Magic the Gathering game where I could just play against bots all day, I might actually get into it. But there aren't very many online games like that where the bots are actually competent enough to challenge a player. There are not very many at all. Not very many at all. That's why I did get into Yu-Gi-Oh! For a while because of that, because there is Master Duel does have stuff like that, which is very, very fun. There's like an entire like 10-hour story mode to Master Duel. That's what really got me into Yu-Gi-Oh! For a while. That's why I started playing Six Samurai again. Doody-doody-doo. There we go. I'm talking all the challenges and side content. It took me about 10 hours to do, like, everything. Oh yeah, that's a good game to play with your friends. I keep forgetting to burn this thing. There we go. Alrighty. Oh, let's go. Yeah, playing with your friends always makes anything enjoyable. Did you see Dark and Darker just got a single player mode? I was thinking of playing that. But all right. Here we are. Doop. There we go. Man, I was thinking maybe... Whatever, once we're done with Darksouls, we're just gonna do Misty Izakaya. I need a relaxing game, not a game like Dark Souls 3. Here we are, the bridge. We're so close to what we need, Draco. We finally come this far. Let's go. We've finally come this far. So, this place is actually quite full of good equipment. And very powerful enemies. As you can can see, these are the Blood Knights. They don't fuck around much, let me tell you. They don't fuck around, these guys. Life is good, eh, Draco? Life is good. This is the treasury to this place. You can see someone's already robbed it all. But there's still a couple things we can pick through. Yeah, life is good. You know what? I'm gonna have some mac and cheese. I swear the bonfire was here. I'm gonna have some mac and cheese beef. Beef mac and cheese. Fuck. There's literally no one in this entire fucking house that can stop me. No one can stop me. I'm gonna march into that kitchen and grab myself a nice box of Mexican-style mac and cheese, whatever the fuck that is. Don't know. I don't know what that means, but whatever. I'm sure it's good. Mexico knows how to make their food. Aha! Bingo! Alright, Draco, we're gonna have to change up our strategy here. There's a ban list? Well, yeah, that makes sense. Why wouldn't there be? Time to use steroids. I mean, spices. Yeah, spices. Time to use the spices. What? Hey, oh, I had to crack my neck there, sorry. I don't know why all of them are katana wielding weebs. You gotta thin the fat a little bit, you gotta cut away what ain't needed. Gestures. Height. Dragon Slayer armor. Nice. It's almost as good as what I got, but it's not made of rock. Stone. Incense. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cheers. Oh, no card is useless, at least most of the time. Unless it's spyware, that's it, but no one cares about that card anyways. Alright. Magical laser beam. Magical sword. Magical fuck. Soul spear. So here's what Force Souls does. Watch and learn. Hum! Pretty good. Pretty good. Alright, I don't know if I'm mentally ready for this boss fight, but I fucking better be. Okay. Oh. Oh. That fucking fish and turkey that I ate before stream is catching up with me. Where did I get all these human effigies from? Whatever. This is our first Daughter of the Dark. First Daughter of Manus fight. Let's go. First, let me do this. Nope. I swung my weapon, it went straight through his body as he was standing still. I'm just gonna rest at the bonfire and run past him. Oh, great. Oh. Fuck off, bitch. Get the fuck out of my way. One of these chests is... Ah, there it is. There it is. That's the armor they're wearing. It's actually pretty good. Gonna be honest with you, it is actually a very good armor set. It's actually a very good armor set. It works very well. Oh, it's not. It's the other side. Right here. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good loot. This whole place is filled with really good loot. As you can see. That is like a 40% shield with that. It probably just does a shitload of fucking magic resistance. Twinkling Titanite. I've got 9 pieces of Twinkling Titanite from this DLC, man. I fucking love this DLC. This is actually my favorite DLC. While the other ones have really cool gimmicks and such, this one's just my favorite because it's so fucking cool. Also, it gives you fuckloads of upgrade materials you're gonna need. You need all the upgrade materials from this. There's so many pieces of Twinkling Titanite. That makes 12 in total I have now. Alright. Ready to go! Oh. Hear that accursed singing? Let's silence this bitch once and for all. I am the king. Oh yeah, the fucking thing counts as the thingy. That's our axe right there. That's our main weapon. You think these little fucking summons are gonna save you? She's a spellcaster, by the way. Unfortunately for her, we've actually got, like, good spell damage resistance. She basically turns the game into Toho with all of her spells she spams. Would you believe this is the boss I had the most trouble with? Right next to Throne Watcher, Throne Defender. Oh! Remember the bell guy? Here he comes. This is the real him. Come on. He sold his soul to her. Whatever. This bitch is already dead. Alright. Bullet hells, they're alright. Oh, that's not... I mean, I'd do it, but that's not what she normally looks like. Bullet hells, they're okay. I just like Toho for the story. Toho has a very good story. Ah, yes, the Dragon Knights. Of course they'd want to get involved. Alright. We just got it there, Draco. Soul of Eam. It's not about looks like a corpse. It's all that she can do. So basically the story goes that she's the child of Dark, a piece of Manus that fragmented when we killed him in the last game. And she is the wrath of Manus. Literally. She married the king of this place and sunk the civilization into the ground, poisoning its people and the dragon which the king became obsessed with, which is on the other side of that wall right there. Now the people suffer eternally, and she commands this horrid place for good. Where? There it is. All right. Let's go get our weapon. It's a long road. We gotta go to the fuckhole with all the spiders and mages and random toads that turn you to stone. The fuckhole. Go straight on, fuck your face. Straight on, literally. They won't bend. Alright, come get your ass whoopings. Yo, bro, why do you live here?
What can I do for you?
There. arm forged from the soul of Elena, child of dark, use strong attacks to unleash its latent power. When the abyss dispelled, the things that called it home were fragmented and scattered across the realm. Eventually, these pieces regained form in ways that hinted at humanity's true nature. They're really human. You don't understand, Draco. That's what humans are meant to look like. Seriously, I'm not joking. That's what humans are meant to look like. There it is. The Wrathful Axe. Our true weapon. Very nice. It's kind of fucked up when you think about it. Humans are meant to look like zombies, basically. Kind of crazy. The form we take now is mere fleeting. I'm thinking more from a morbid sense, right, Draco? Imagine the form we take now is fleeting in Dark Souls. Imagine that kind of truth weighing down on you. Imagine knowing that. There we are, fully upgraded. Oh, my stomach. 19 Twinkling Titanite. Hot damn. How morbid that idea is that we're not even supposed to have this form to begin with. Alright, who wants to kill a dragon? First, let me go and modify this charm properly. This form is fleeting. Yes, we're supposed to be zombies, apparently. According to Dark Souls. Also... yeah, I know about that. Don't worry, Draco. I kind of knew what time it was, but we can go a little bit extra longer tonight, because it is the last stream of the week. Oh yeah, we can infuse this thing. Not right now. We're not going to infuse this with anything. We're going to infuse this, however, with lightning. Okay. You can double infuse this? No. Make it go back to normal. Okay. Probably wonder why I'm using lightning. Lightning is highly effective against dragons. 511. No gas. No brakes. Alright. And it can shield poke. Let's go. We'll give this dragon a couple attempts before we end upstream. I love how we're so glowing with lightning even though the weapon is away. Let's go! This is quite the fight. This is quite the fight. It's not too hard if you know what you're doing, but this is quite the fight. Nile. That should give us a chance. Oh, give me a moment. This dragon's not large, but it is mighty. We gotta go for this. If we cut off his tail, he won't be able to balance himself properly in the air. Oh, God. Fuck you. Oh, he did his slide. Fuck, this is the worst position to be in. Oh, he's in the air. Nice. Boom! Ah, that could have been bad. Quit fucking moving! You goddamn lizard! I'll serve you like a goddamn omelet. Sunny side up. Oh, fuck. Toxic as well. I don't think that fixes this. No, it does. I can't help that, though. We gotta recover ourselves. Now, if he does that, yep, that's what I was afraid of. Alright, we're in. We're in this. Perfect fucking attack. There we go. Fuck. Ah! He can't fly for very long now. He can't do certain moves as well. Oh, shit. Alright, fair enough. Ha, dumb bitch. That move is the worst of all of them, though. Oh. Come on, come on, come on. Damn. Damn. Fire breath at the bad time. Is he gonna do his ram as well? No, he's just going straight for it. There we go. Get a good chop on his face. He's gotta do the thingy. Oh, he did his backwards leap and into a ram. That's a rare combo right there. Oh yeah, baby, perfect. Uh-oh. No, we're good. I'm so fucking tanky, you can't hurt me. There we go. First try on the poisoned dragon. Synth. The slumbering dragon. And, Draco, what does someone usually get for killing a dragon? There's the King's Reign. What? That corpse is of the king. What does someone usually get for killing a dragon, Draco? That's right. A crown. A faint heat lingers in the ancient crown. It's imbued with the fire itself. Well, kind of. Perhaps. The king was obsessed with killing that dragon. Well, not killing, but controlling that dragon. The queen, the child of the dark who we got the axe from, got got the spear that pierced that dragon's heart. She poisoned it. And then when the king died, she put it to sleep to harness its power and sink the city afterwards. No, she wanted that dragon's power, so because she was the queen, the king wanted to give it to her. She was never successful, though. The crown. The weakest of all the crowns, actually, funnily enough. This is the weakest of all the crown. No one even remembers the king's name. The crown of the sunken king, who once ruled this land. The king, yes, below the earth to worship the great dragon. See, he was obsessed with the thing. That's why the spear pierced its heart. Because she wanted its power for itself. But the towering bulwark climbed the city shortly after the dragon's awakening. Oh, crumbled the city, sorry. Shortly after the dragon's awakening. I don't really have one necessarily. I don't... Honestly... Hard to say. Probably just Monster Musume, really. That's a good one, but I don't really watch too many animes like that. Either way, Draco, I'll see you whenever. Thank you so much for coming, and I'll see you later. Goodbye. Food Wars is good. I'll see you next week.